welcome YouTube to my very first video. This will be episode 1 in my KSP career mode. Hopefully you like this. So I'm going to start a new save, and I'll call it YouTube, because I'm making a YouTube video. And then I'll select my flag, and I will take the R&D flag, because I like that one. And yeah, default settings, and that should be good. Alright, so when I first start it, I get this Kerbal guy. So he's giving me a tutorial, but I already know how it works. So this is my mission control, and this is where I can accept contracts. This is where companies will type up a contract and they'll pay me money if I do certain things for them. So right now I've got these ones active, but I'm going to accept a few and they'll give me some money. So I'll take that one, and that looks pretty good. I can't accept any more right now, but yeah. So then I'll close that. You can see up here I have my money, my prestige or reputation, basically what the public thinks about me. And here I've got my science, and science is like a point value, and you can spend it to unlock things in the tech tree here. I don't have any, so I can't get these new parts. So I'm just stuck with these basic ones, which is hard. Here's where I've got my contracts, and then this is where I get like notifications and things. It's the tracking station, astronaut complex, things like that. So I'll upgrade these buildings and then they'll work better. But we'll start the VAB, and this is where I'll build my first rocket. So this guy, Werner von Kerman, he's probably supposed to be like a Kerbal representation of von Braun, who helped the US a lot with making their rockets in the early space race. He's actually a Nazi. Well, no, he wasn't a Nazi, but he was a German during Nazi times and forced to work for Hitler. And Hitler liked him, I guess, because he made the V1 missile. But I don't think he was too fond of that. So he worked for the US after the war. So I'm going to put a parachute on my capsule that I've selected, and this will be like one of the first rockets. So I don't know what to call it. I'm really bad at making names, as quite a few of you probably know. I don't know, I'll start with A1, because A is the first letter of the alphabet, 1's the first number, and it's the first rocket. So I'll take the Flea solid rocket booster and put it on here. I'll give it a thrust limiter because it'll use its fuel up way too quickly if I don't do that. And then I'll set up the staging because I don't want the parachute to deploy at the same time as the booster, because that would be very bad. And then I'd crash and waste a lot of money. And yeah, I don't have many parts. I could put some fins on it, why not? Those will help it go straight. Yeah, that looks cool. And I'll select crew. Sure, Jebediah can be first. So I'll save it, and then I'll click launch. I've got this weird feedback, and it's kind of hard to record when you hear your own voice echoing back at you. It's kind of creepy. Apparently it can drive people insane, according to some experiments. I'm not crazy yet. Might be at some point later. But anyways, I'll click the space bar and Jebediah will have a lot of fun. Wait, sorry. First I'm going to do a crew report and get some science. Then I'll do this, and he'll get out, and then I'll get an EVA report, which will give me more science. And then I'll take the data from that crew report out of the cockpit, and then when I get back in, it means I can take another crew report, because you can only do each experiment once. But when you do that take out data thing, you can do it again later. So we'll get him a crew report as soon as he's in the air. So I'll press T to turn on SAS, which is stability assistance, or as my friends like to call, like, sickness avoidance system. I find that hilarious. So yeah, I'll press spacebar and there we go. I've got this cool mod that makes the engine exhaust look nicer. So you can see how nice that looks. I'm going to turn over on my side just a little bit. You can see that by the nav ball. So the fuel won't last super long, but it's okay. I'm starting to go through the sound barrier. That's what these little lines here represent. Okay. And now it's out of fuel. I'm going to turn off the sickness avoidance system. And then we'll just coast up to the top of our thing. So anyways, here's some contracts. We get money for being good to these companies. I guess they're happy now. So these fins are helping me go straight. So as the rocket's turning on its side, you can notice that that means I'm starting to go to the side. Now I'm going down. I'm going to put the parachute out now, because that's a good idea. Don't want him dying. I like Jeb. Oh, I want it to not go straight down. I guess that's the downside of those fins. When the parachute opens, it should go backwards like it should, but whatever. For now, I'll go inside, and you can see what Jebediah sees. So he's got this control panel and this tiny window, and that's about it. I bet he could get very bored in here. So we are going down very quickly. You multiply this number by about 2.2, and that tells you miles per hour that we're going. That is meters per second right now. So we're going pretty quick. Yeah, I can't get it to turn over, not yet. Hopefully that parachute will open. There it goes. There, now it flipped around. Yep, and Jebediah will come down. And, oh, that's weird. Never noticed that blue area there when you go in the parachute. So, I had a microphone for this. It's earbuds with the microphone built in, but it wouldn't record the game sound. So, what I'm doing right now, so I can record game sound as well as my voice, I've set it up so that I have my left ear. Oh no. Oh, I lost money because of that. That sucks. But, anyways, I have the left earbud taped to the microphone, and then I've got the right earbud in my ear, and the volume turned up really loud. So then it records the game sound and my voice, because I couldn't find a way for it to do both. Anyways, I got some money back from recovered parts. Jebediah got some experience. I'll click done. And then I can recover that debris over there. That's that fin that did not explode. And I'll get even more money. So now I'm going to go to the R&D and buy a tech part. I don't know if you can hear that weird flickering sound. Hopefully not. Anyways, so I can buy this for 5 science, or that for 5 science. I actually have enough science for both, so I think I'll get both. Alright, now I've got 16 left, which is enough for maybe one of these. Yeah, I can only afford this one. I'll get it, because why not? Alright, now we can start sending Kerbals higher up. I have a few other mods, like KW Rocketry, which gives me more parts, which is nice, because I don't get a lot. So that was the A1. I guess the A2 will come next, so I'll save that. And we're going to get rid of that. So we should probably put some scientific instruments here. So I'll put that thing there. And then we can put these mystery goo containment units there. Yeah. Nah, I want them there. That looks better. And I'll need extra parachutes because I've just added more weight. And that looks kind of ugly, so Kerbal has this nice feature where you can offset things. So you press F, and then, well, you click that button, then press F. And then you can set it, and it looks much nicer now. I'm going to go back to placing parts. So that'll be like the capsule of my next rocket. And then I think Valentina can go next. I'm not going to use Bill or Bob. Sorry, Bill, these are Bill and Bob. Because they are an engineer and a scientist. I need pilots right now, because they're the only ones who can use the sickness avoidance system. These guys don't know how to do that. And I can't, it's really hard to steer when it won't go straight, and you have to correct it constantly. So I'm just going to do pilots for now, and I will later use Bill and Bob when I have either a two-person cockpit or when I have a computer that can help steer. But I have another mod called Remote Tech, and unmanned things don't do too well with that. They need a communication uplink, or you can't control them. Oops, I clicked out of the window. So anyways, I've also got the Procedural Fuel Tank mod, so I can use these fuel tanks, and I can change their diameter, their length. Well, it won't let me right now because I don't have enough tech stuff. But yeah, later I'll be able to do that. Oh, that's right. So I'm going to build a small rocket first, like this. I'll use the flea engine again with a small thrust limiter, and then I'll pull that up. And then I'll put a decoupler, and then I'll use my liquid fuel engine. So you can hold the Alt key and copy things, which gets helpful when you need to place a lot. Okay, I have a part limit, so I can't go too far above that. That should be good. And I'll take this engine here, place that there. And then I'll bring all that down. Okay, I don't have side-mounted decouplers, so... Oh, I've got these. These are cool looking. So, I'll press X to get symmetry. I think I'll put 3 of them. Yeah. I'll give them a thrust limiter as well, so they don't burn up all their fuel so quickly. And I'll put my fins on the edge of those. So, what this rocket will do is it'll ignite these 4 engines, the center one and the 3 boosters, and it'll go up, and when it runs out of fuel, this will come off like that. This will push it even further, and then that'll come off, and this part will land. I probably don't need a heat shield, but it never hurts. Well, I mean it does, because it adds weight, but you don't want to burn up. That'd be bad. I'm also going to remove the monopropellant. I forgot to do that. That's for when you have RCS thrusters. They come in that tab, but there's nothing there now. So it's just a waste. It's extra fuel, extra weight, and you can't even burn it. So, yeah. Now, I forgot to get a contract for this rocket, so I'm going to go and accept more contracts. Escape the atmosphere. I could probably do that. When does that one expire? I should probably accept both of them. Oh, he's loud. Gene, be quiet. Oh, I got something here. Scientific data. Oh, that's a lot of money. That's nice. Anyways, back to that rocket, and we will then launch it. Looks decent enough. He shouldn't die instantly. Oh, sorry, she, because Valentine is flying now. So I'll save that, and then I'll launch. So now we'll go back to the launch pad, and hopefully we can go a little bit higher with this rocket than the last one. Because we have these boosters helping us at first, I will not throttle up the main engine too far. I'll put it about 1/3 thrust for now. I'll throttle it up later when the boosters burn out. So, that's loud. Yeah, the real Plume mod, which makes the engine exhaust look better. It's very nice. It looks really realistic. I'm gonna throttle down the main engine even more because it's just gonna waste a bunch of fuel. Okay, now it'll throttle up. Continue to push us forward. I don't have side-mounted decouplers, so I can't detach those side boosters, which is too bad because they're extra weight, but it should be okay. I'm trying to get the rocket to fly straight, but it's not doing too well. At least it's not flipping over. That happens a lot. So I'll just keep on going on that main engine. And as you get higher and faster, the exhaust comes out more like this. You can see it getting shorter, expanding out more. And that's how it does in real life. You can see pictures of like a Saturn V launching, and you can see that. Okay, I figured out part of the problem. It's because I've got 3 fins and not 4. There are 4 axes, sort of. Like I can go in 4 directions, left, right, up, down, like that. So, because there's only 3 fins, it creates a roll when I turn. Inconvenient. But yeah. Now those temperature gauges, are things heating up. Hang on, I'm going to go check the map view. I think I'll be able to escape the atmosphere, which is good. You can see how the exhaust expands out even further the higher up we get. And we are getting pretty high up in the atmosphere now. Yeah. The smoke also starts to disappear because there's not enough air to actually show the water vapor condensing into smoke. I think that's what causes smoke. Not positive. Right, so this rocket's going to keep going. Oh, wow. 8 contracts completed. That's great. We're going up really high now. And that engine still has fuel. I'm going to throttle down even more. Where it's just going to keep going until that runs out. Turn over on the side even more. We're most of the way to space now. That engine's about to burn out. I usually like to throttle down right before it burns out. Then the jerk isn't too bad for the pilot. Because the Russian Soyuz, when its third stage burns out, it really flings the pilots because it's shoving them back in their seats because of all the thrust, and then it burns out all of a sudden, and it really shoves them forward. It's quite uncomfortable, according to some astronauts. Anyways, I'm going to do this engine, and it spreads out too because it's also up here. So this might... Okay, I'm not actually going to space. There we go. This might put us in orbit, but I doubt it. We'd have no way of returning if it did. That'd be too bad. I'm going to pitch up some because I'm afraid... Good, I'm escaping atmosphere. So now I'm going back to that. I'll decouple that, so we don't need it. And there. 11 contracts. That's probably a lot of money. Yep, speed records, distant records, altitude records, all kinds of things. And then I'll probably get another one as soon as that number becomes 70,000, because that is when I break out of the atmosphere. Okay, and as soon as I'm in space, the music starts firstly, and I get 2 contracts. Lots of stuff. I'm going to turn the rocket so you can see it better. We're going to get a crew report from Valentina. So this is in space. She says that the sky seems mostly below us, which, yeah, she's out in the atmosphere. So now I'm going to observe the mystery goo containment units, and that'll get me even more science. The goo is clumped into a ball and become brittle, apparently. Don't know how that gets science, but whatever. In the materials bay. So this would be like when you put plant samples and bacteria in space, and then you'd observe how the radiation affects them. And you get interesting stuff like this. Okay, that'll bring back a lot of science when I land. We're going to start heading back down soon. I can't leave the vehicle right now because they don't really have good spacesuits yet. So while you're flying, you've got to stay inside. But when I upgrade some of those buildings, I'll eventually be able to leave the spacecraft, and then I can get even more science. So we're starting to head back down now. You can see by our vertical speed, we will be hitting atmosphere soon. So I'm going to turn the spacecraft so that the heat shield goes first. You can see we've got this ablator material. So the way a heat shield works, as the, not friction, but the plasma that builds up as you're moving through the atmosphere quickly, it'll heat this up, and then little pieces of it will fly off, and that'll carry away some of the heat, and that helps the rocket not explode, which that's usually the rule. Make the rocket not explode. That's kind of the point of this game. So the music stopped because we're back in the upper atmosphere now, and as this little pointer right here moves down, it'll show how deep we are. So this is like the upper atmosphere, this point up. This is like the stratosphere, kind of, and this would be the lowest part of the atmosphere, and it's also the thickest. So you can see we're gaining speed right now, but as we get deeper in the atmosphere, it will gain less speed over time. Okay, this usually takes a while, so I'm going to check my timer while I can. I don't want this video to be too ridiculous, though. Okay, I still got a while. Anyways, you can time accelerate, which is a very helpful feature. And if you see that flickering dot there, right there, that is Kerbal, that's this planet, Kerbal's other moon. So Kerbal has 2 moons, unlike Earth. Has a normal moon that looks a lot like Earth's, and then Minmus, which is like a captured asteroid. Anyways, that plasma that I was talking about is now beginning to build up on the craft, and you can see we're slowly starting to lose a blader from our resources tab here. And it's quite loud as it slows down. There's another mod that I wanted to get that I forgot. It makes stuff shake around in the IVA mode. I'll probably get it before I make my next video. I'll also have a decent microphone then, so you won't have to have this weird setup now and have the lower quality. But it works for now. This is the G-Forces tab. It's quite unpleasant for her, I can imagine. She currently weighs about 5 times as much as she normally does, as she's getting shoved down in her seat, as she's losing all this speed. But anyways, G-Forces are still staying at about 5. Now they're going back down. Now she weighs 4 times as much as usual. It's staying there. Oh, the G's are going up again. Probably open the parachute, but as it says here, it's unsafe. Shouldn't do it yet. Now the G's are going back down. So she won't be killed too much. Now it says safe, so I'll press the space bar, and the parachutes come out. And having 3 of them is quiet. We'll turn off the sickness avoidance system, and we will just follow our trajectory because these parachutes are towards the top. Well, you can see my flag poking through there. That's interesting. So then we'll just fall. I'll use time acceleration because this is boring. That was probably my solid rocket booster hitting the water. Okay. The G-forces go up a lot when the parachute's open. Now we're going really slow, like 10 miles per hour or less. So I'll time accelerate. And yeah. So Valentina looks pretty happy. She's kind of funny. Jebediah is a lot like her. They both love being in space and things. Bob and Bill, they get scared by everything. Yeah. They're always screaming when you put them in a rocket. It's pretty funny. Maybe I'll be able to show you that in another episode. So this is a common problem with YouTubers. I've forgotten what to talk about, or I can't think of anything else. I've talked about quite a few things. I should have saved one of the Mystery Goose samples, because you get a pretty funny message when you land in the water. And then that'll fall back. Might as well get a EVA report from the water. She'll get out. And then go here. I'll do EVA report. She doesn't think she needed the spacesuit to get here, but too bad. Well, I can't get back on, so I have to recover these separately. But anyways, I'll recover her. Then I'll wait. Anyways, I get messages, science, no money, reputation. Then I'll go back and recover this. Oh, this is the tracking station. Got Jean again. Anyways, I'm going to click on that and recover the vessel. And then I get a ton of science. 50. That's quite a bit this early on. So yeah. This is notifications where someone wants me to do some kind of survey here. But it's going to be kind of annoying and tricky to get there, so I probably won't accept that contract. Anyways, we're going to go to the R&D and buy some. Oh, there's that weird feedback again. This gives me those side-mounted decouplers, which is good. This gives me bigger fuel tanks, though. I kind of want that. And I can't afford that. That is annoying. That's a good engine there. Yep, can't afford any of those. It gives me a battery. Could get this, or I could save for the battery. This does give me better fins, so yeah, I think I'll get that. Anyways, now I'll check my contract. So they want me to take a VIP on a suborbital flight. I probably could do that, but I don't have the right cockpits right now, so I can't do that. More tourists. That's that contract that I saw in the tracking station. They want me to test this engine in flight, but I'm not going to do that. They want me to test that. Here we go. This is something we can do that is really simple. So we just need to test this part for them. That makes this company happy, and they give me money and science. So I'll accept it, and then I'll create my test rocket, which will be, well, its sole purpose will be testing things for testing contracts. So I will just call it test, not because it's a test, but because it tests things. Then I'll zoom in. Sorry, it takes a long time to do that. I'll get rid of the monopropellant because that's extra money. And then I'll take the part I'm supposed to test. I'm pretty sure it's this. I'll mount it on the side there. I guess we can take Bob. He's the scientist. So he can be in charge of testing things. And then we'll launch it. Okay. So yeah, they want me just to test this decoupler. So all I'll do is press the spacebar, and it gets flung. It goes pretty far. Then it explodes. Yeah. So then I get the contract, I get money in science, and I recover that. Okay, that was kind of boring. Alright, let's see if there's any new contracts. Oh, a solid rocket booster chest. Those are always fun, because then I go up really high. So I guess Jeb can do that. So we'll just get rid of that. Lift that up. He'll need a parachute now, because probably give him landing legs to touch down, but he'll live, probably. Where's that solid rocket booster? They want me to test that. So I'll just do that. Yep. This is a big solid rocket booster, as you can see. It definitely needs a thrust limiter because it would just kill the pilot with G-forces, probably. Because it would be going so fast. Yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but I'll put a heat shield. Because I really don't want to lose any pilots. They're expensive. It's such a horrible thing to say. But it's funny. Staging's good, so I'll save that, and I'll launch. Okay. So then I'll just turn on the sickness avoidance system. Oh no, we have Bob. Not Jeb. I meant to put Jeb in there. Well, you can see how Bob screams. I was hoping I'd save that for later, but enjoy his freaking out. Oh, that's surprising. I guess he's not going super fast. Oh, there he goes. Now he's frowning. And he'll start screaming pretty soon. It's pretty funny. So you can see how much smoke that makes. It looks really cool. It's got little particles that come out. Now Bob's getting very unhappy, as you can see. You do want to feel sorry for him, but it's not my fault. He's a wimp. So, yeah. He also doesn't have the sickness avoidance system, so he'll get very sick. Now he's really not happy. And unfortunately for him, there's still quite a bit of fuel left in this thing. It's going to keep going. Glad I put that heat shield, because we might go to space with this thing. Anyways, I'll see if I can get this crew report. No, I don't do any science for that, so I'll just reset the experiment. Maybe I can get into the upper atmosphere and get a crew report there. And get more science. What was that? Oh. You can see the exhaust starting to expand as we get higher up. It's really cool when you do that. These particles would be chunks of fuel breaking off and burning as they go down. Solid rocket boosters aren't very efficient, but they give a lot of thrust, and they're cheap, so that's what they've got for them. Liquid fuel is usually better, but it's super expensive. This is a good alternative. Now I wonder if we're high enough for a crew report that will give me scientific value. Yes, I get some stuff. Upper atmosphere, yeah. Oh look, we're getting flames. We're going fast. We're almost out of fuel now. I can't throttle this thing at all, so he's going to get a jerk when it burns out. Yeah, he was accelerating at like 5 Gs. Then all of a sudden, no Gs. Which really will flame it. Oh yeah, he's going to space. He won't be too happy about that. Now he's spinning. Oh no. Glad I've got that. So I plan on Mac, so I can't play at super good graphics settings. And my recording software crashed when I first launched it, so I turned down my graphics settings, and it's been going for about 30 minutes, so that's proof that it works. But unfortunately, you get these weird triangles. I hate it, but it's better than no video. And then music, because we're in space. I'll time accelerate. because I took that crew port, and I can't get out of the rocket to reset it because spacesuits have holes in them, I guess, and it won't let me. Yeah, so I'm going to have to guide this down myself, because without the sickness avoidance system, it's just not going to stay straight. It will when we get into the deeper atmosphere, but right now it will not. Now I've turned on fine-tuned controls. You can tell because these things down here change color. Blue is when they've got the fine-tuned control on, and it makes the controls less sensitive. Without it, I tap the key once, and it does that. With it, I tap the key once. Well, I've got to kill my rotation first. Anyways, it doesn't do very much when you tap it once, because it makes it less sensitive, which is very nice for airplanes and things. Anyways, he's going to be having a lot of discomfort with the G-forces here, because he's going straight down, and that makes more G-forces. Yeah, he's 6 times his normal weight. 7 Gs now. Okay, it stopped increasing there. This is very uncomfortable for him. Yes, 7 Gs. That's crazy. It's unsafe to deploy the parachute, but we are going down quickly. I hope I don't lose him. That would suck. Okay, that parachute better open in time. He's going to get a lot of Gs here, but good, he didn't die. Once I went up too high like that, and the parachute didn't open in time, and he died, which was bad. Okay, this will probably be the last flight, because it's been about 30 minutes. So, yeah. Yep, 30 minutes. So after this, I will stop recording and upload the video to YouTube. So, yep, he's going to hit the water, fall over. Yep, now he's safe. He's not dead. I don't know what he was just doing. Anyways, I'll recover the vessel and then get money for doing that test. The tests can be quite profitable if you do a lot of them, but they can be boring, so I'll probably not do too many of them. But some of the tests are a little bit more interesting than testing them from the ground. Anyways, I'll look at our contracts so you can see what we might be doing next episode. Suborbital trajectory. That might be hard. Yeah, a lot of these will be quite hard. Well, there's one last feature for me to show off on this game. It's got this nice button here, warp to next morning. And it'll time warp through the night to the next morning. And when there's no good contracts, you just click that button a few times, and then the contracts will reset because they will expire. I should probably do it again, but we can do that next episode. So, this will be an interesting experience doing YouTube. I hope you enjoy it, and have a nice day. I'll see you later.